Do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notification of my new videos. Please like and share. Hello learners, welcome to Ed Scholars Zone. So today's video is about teaching for meaningful learning, and in the lesson 1 we will discuss about teaching as instructing versus teaching as facilitating learning. So let's begin. After going through the entire lesson, you will be able to define the term teaching and learning, explain their relationship, and able to compare teaching as instructing versus teaching as facilitating learning. So in this session, we will talk about two major roles of teaching, such as teaching as imparting instruction and teaching as facilitating learning, followed by their comparison. But before talking about that, let us first understand what is teaching and learning and how they are related to each other. So here we will talk about the concept of teaching in brief way. So generally, when we think about teaching, we always refer it as an occupation or profession. A profession of a group of persons generally known as teachers or educator. So the main task of the teacher is to help the individual to learn or acquire some knowledge, skills, attitude or interest. However, teaching is not a simple task, rather it is a complex concept. Earlier notion of teaching was limited to a mechanical process, but in modern time the notion of teaching has changed. It is no longer mechanical, rather it is a complex art of guiding the student through variety of selected experiences towards the attainment of predetermined instructional objectives. So now let us see some of the definition of teaching. According to Morrison, teaching is an intimate contact between more mature personality and a less mature one, which is designed to further the education of the latter. So Morrison says that teaching is nothing but an intimate contact between two persons, such as one is more mature and another is less mature. So here teacher is the more mature personality, whereas learner are the less mature personality, and his view on teaching is based on the autocratic system or autocratic view, where a teacher is the authority of the classroom and he is the source of all knowledge and he is the expert of content, but the students are passive listener. They have no active role, they only receives the information or knowledge provided by the teacher. Then if we see another definition which is given by N.L. Gage, according to him, teaching is a form of interpersonal influence aimed at changing the behavior potential of another person. So according to him, both teacher and students are active during the classroom situation and during the teaching learning process, and they influence each other. Main aim of teaching is to produce changes in the behavior of the learner. So his view is based on democratic system or democratic view, in which everyone has right to share their opinion. Another definition is given by John Brubaker, and according to him, teaching is an arrangement and manipulation of situation in which there are gaps and obstructions which an individual will seek to overcome and from which he will learn in the course of doing so. So his definition reflects the ideas of modern views or constructive views. So according to him, teaching means arranging or manipulating a situation or creating an educational environment where different problems are arises, and the learners have the opportunity to overcome that problem or solve that problem, and through the process of solving the problem, whatever experiences they gain are called learning. Thus, in this way, teaching process guide the learner to learn new skills, attitudes and behavior. So the end product of an effective teaching is always learning on the part of the learners, and the teaching which doesn't ensure any learning is worthless. Let's talk about the brief concept of learning. So as you all know, learning is an integral part of teaching process. It brings about changes in the learner behavior through practices and experiences. But the changes that takes place due to learning are not always as permanent as changes brought about by chemical reaction in material objects. So the changes or modification of behavior takes place due to learning process may be or may not be permanent. Sometimes the learned behavior may disappear, the skills we acquire, the behavior we pick up, etc. modified or replaced by some other sets of similar or different acquired behavior. Thus, it is safer to use relatively permanent in place of absolutely permanent. Resultant changes in the behavior account of learning. So we cannot say that learning is absolutely permanent changes in behavior. Rather, it is safer to use the term relatively permanent and says learning is relatively permanent change in learner behavior. Thus, a proper definition of learning may be a process which brings relatively permanent changes in the behavior of learner through experiences and practice. So in this way, learning is nothing but the modification of behavior through practice and experiences. But all kind of changes in human behavior cannot be considered as learning. For example, the changes that takes place due to maturation, emotions, motivation, fatigues, drugs, etc. are not learning, because the changes that takes place in the behavior of the learner due to all these factors are temporary state of subjects. So it cannot be considered as learning. Teaching is based on learning. Both teaching and learning are correlated to each other. Every teaching must ensure at learning. The end product of an effective teaching is always learning. All teacher teaches but learns also. There is a movement of information between teaching and learning. The information moves away from teacher towards the learner. So the teacher impart the information, provide the information, and the learner receives the information. So therefore, their information moves from teachers and proceed towards the learner. So there is a movement of information between teaching and learning. Teaching is imparting and learning is acquiring. So teaching is imparting information, teacher impart information, and learner acquire the imparted information. So thus, in this way, both teaching and learning are correlated to each other. Effective teaching always result in meaningful learning. Attainment of learning is the chief goal of teaching process. The teaching which doesn't ensure learning is worthless. Therefore, the quality of teaching always depends upon the effectiveness of learning. So now let us see the role of teaching as instructing, followed by the role of teaching as facilitating learning. So, teaching as instructing. Instructing is a process of imparting direct instruction to the student. It means a process in which one individual makes something known to another individual. So here teacher makes the learner to learn a specific things. More specifically, instructing refers to providing a set of tasks or activities to do something specific. So the teacher ordered or give task or activities to the learner to do something, and here the learner are passive listeners. They received the order of the teacher and gained information and retain the same in their mind. So in the process of instruction, teacher role is just like an autocrat. He has complete authority and he is the person having absolute power and having control over the situation. In this process, the students are supposed to carry out all the orders of the teacher. Teaching as facilitating learning. Facilitation refers to the actual process in the classroom by which the teacher interact with the student to support their learning. So here the teacher and student interact with each other, and the teacher, instead of providing information and imposing instruction, he just support the student in their learning. So teaching as facilitating learning means encouraging and motivating the student to think critically and solve problem. So it is a process of learning where the students have the opportunity to work independently and the teacher provide necessary guidance. Here learners remain active throughout the learning process. Teacher plays a vital role as a facilitator, and his main duty is to organize the learning situation as well as provide necessary resources to support the learning of the learner. The learner here can learn from each other while engaging in collaborative activities. The learner in collaborative activity, they share their ideas with each other in order to solve problems and challenges that they face in their day-to-day life, as a result of which they can set their own objectives for learning assessment. So facilitating learning provide more opportunity, more scope, more independent, more freedom to the learner to explore their own ideas. Teaching as instructing versus teaching as facilitating learning. So now let us compare teaching as instructing and facilitating learning and find out which technique is more effective. So teaching as instructing means imparting or giving instruction by a person who is called instructor, whereas teaching as facilitating means encouraging the learner to think critically, and the person who facilitates learning is called facilitator. Again, instructor is someone who is the expert of content. He is the source of all knowledge. He imparts knowledge and information, and the student are to receive and retain the same information. Whereas facilitator is more a process manager than a content manager. Their role is to enable and facilitate a process where the learner in the group actively engage and learn together. Teaching as instructing is more often one-way communication where the instructor impart instruction through lecture method and the learners are passive listener. The learner only receives the information, acquire the information imparted by the teacher. Whereas in facilitating learning, it provides opportunity for more interaction between facilitator and learners, and interaction also takes place among the learners in collaboration work. Teacher provides scaffolding to the learner to ensure meaningful learning. Scaffolding means the teacher provides extra support, necessary guidance to the learner to ensure meaningful learning. Then the instructor always maintain a control over all the activities carried out in the classroom. The instructor act as tutor or authority in the classroom, whereas on the other hand, a facilitator is completely different from the instructor, and he organizes the group activities for the learner where they have ample scope to work collaboratively and independently. They have opportunity to share their ideas and explore new principles to solve a particular problem. In instructing, the learner passively receives and adapt all the information and retain in their mind. But in facilitating, the learners learn by doing and performing activities and share and use the learned material practically so that they can learn in realistic way. In the modern time, there is a paradigm shift in the scenario of classroom teaching. The technique of classroom teaching has been changing, and the duties and function of teacher is also expanded. It is no longer limited to simply imparting a quantum of knowledge to his pupil. Rather, his function has expanded to a larger extent. The change of teaching technique. The role of teacher has also changed into a facilitator. His main function is to encourage and inspire the student to acquire knowledge through their own experiences. So here, a facilitator, instead of imparting mere information and knowledge, he just encourages the learning situation where the learner learn with their own experiences and the facilitator only provide guidance, and he act as their friend, philosopher and guide. He is therefore an intellectual leader of the group of the students or the class. An effective and successful teacher is thus a leader of the group and a facilitator of learning. As a leader of the class, a teacher may be either authoritarian or democratic in actual life. So leadership has different results or impact on students of the class. If the teacher acts as an authoritarian leader and determines all the policies and procedure, where he does listen the views of others but gives obedience of his own order. On the other hand, he alienate himself from the group. The students get afraid and feel hesitate to ask their doubts and difficulties faced by them. But if the teacher acts as a democratic leader, he takes all decisions collectively. He doesn't try to impose order on students, rather he takes them into a confidence and invite their opinions and views before taking any decision. The student feel free to ask their doubts and do not hesitate to clear their doubts. So, instead of issuing order, a democratic teacher guides, leads, suggests, and stimulates learning. In this way, a democratic facilitator makes learning joyful and more meaningful for the learner. So, it may be concluded that facilitating learning provide ample opportunity, more scope, more independence to the learner to learn in their own way and express their own ideas, share their own ideas, and learn by their own ways. So, therefore, it is clear that facilitating learning is more effective than instructing. So, thank you for watching. And if you have any doubts, then comment down below. And for more such educational video, please like, share and subscribe. See you then.